Greetings to the 6th Seal News Talk. Once again, the Chinese are building another port, this time in Malaysia. They're building a port in Malaysia because you see the Chinese cannot continue to build islands because that's very expensive. So what they're doing is they're working with other governments to build their facilities, which are really military facilities. But they're under the undercover, or they're under the impression that gives to people these are ports for Chinese to help other countries. Wow. The Chinese right now are working out a deal with Sri Lanka. Well, actually, I believe they've already done the deal to make a port that costs $64 billion with the Sri Lankan government. Can you imagine how much government officials $64 billion can buy? You know what the Chinese are really doing is they're buying another country. They bought Sri Lanka. They bought Pakistan. Okay, they're looking at Malaysia. They have also negotiated with Burma, or what is now called Myanmar. Okay, they're buying countries. Chinese are now buying countries, and they're buying the officials. Okay, and all these countries will report back to China, because when you have corrupt officials filling in their pockets, okay, with millions of dollars, and the Chinese can hide it in their banks and hide it in overseas, other countries and overseas, you know, that's it. Your country's basically has been sold. Okay, the Chinese don't need another port. They have built port in Pakistan for the same reason they're building it in Sri Lanka. Something to do with, you know, with oil cargo ships, oil being transferred through there. And they built the one in Pakistan with the same idea. They built the one in Sri Lanka with the same idea. They built the one in Myanmar with the same idea. And now it's Malaysia's turn. Let me tell you, if you are the people of Malaysia, your country will end up like Singapore, like Sri Lanka. Your country's going to end up like Pakistan. Your country's going to be bought off by the Chinese. Okay, they're not conquering countries with military mights. That comes later. What they're conquering countries now with is the game about spending billions of dollars to build you a port. But that's just money that's going to be given to pay off officials in those countries till they can own those countries, is what it is. Okay? So people, yeah, you'll get jobs and you get everything, but what happens is when the port is done, like they're doing in Pakistan now, the port in Pakistan has been finished, so already the Chinese have bought Pakistan patrol boats. Okay, you can look that up. The Chinese have not bought the Pakistani patrol boats. They have given patrol boats to Pakistan so the Chinese can patrol alongside the Pakistani patrol boats. This is bullshit. China right now is building they're building another carrier. They put one out to sea, and their plan is to build 4 more carriers, and there's even talk about building 6 more carriers. What they're planning on doing is moving their military, their navy. Once they conquer these countries basically sold out to the Chinese, they will move their military fleets to these different countries. What they're doing is they're spreading military might throughout the world. Some people say, well, the United States did that. Yeah, the United States did that for different reasons, not for the same reasons the Chinese are doing it. The Chinese are doing it for world conquest. That means to corrupt governments, to work directly for Beijing, okay, to undermine government where the countries lose their sovereignty. Okay, and it's controlled 100% by Beijing, and then come in those countries and suck out all the resources, okay, all the fishing ground, everything that has resources and around those countries gets sucked out to China, to the Communist Party, making them super billionaires. That's the only thing they're looking. They're looking at world conquest. They didn't go out and made this giant military that they made a manpower. They're spending billions of dollars a year in military to build up and get more build more tanks, more ships. If they're in a peaceful mode and they just want to do business, why are they building for every billion they spend, billions of dollars they spend, and building ports in other countries? They spend billions of dollars also in their military, building up their military, because their goal is to move their military along all those ports, buy off the government, and put their military in all those places. By the time the people realize what happened, it's too late. The officials of those countries have been corrupt. Now they will hide those billions of dollars, and they want to stay in power, and they will eliminate anybody that comes up against them. So the country is sold out. It's what it is. Okay? And the Chinese, this is what they're doing. They continue to do it. They're using port projects, okay, to come into other countries, corrupt the government of those countries, and give the billions of dollars. Malaysia says that the bidding for the port is open to other countries, okay, to the U.S., to the U.K., to any other country. This is bullshit. Because they say other countries don't see the reason why are they going to spend billions and billions of dollars in another country. Because other countries are not planning on a world conquest. They're not planning on moving their military to those other countries. But China is. So China was bought. China knows that even if Malaysia says that, China's the one getting the entire deal because they're the ones who give the money. And then they're going to undermine, and just like they've done when Sri Lanka has basically fallen under Chinese rule. Okay? It's just run by a puppet government answering to Beijing. Okay? Pakistan, it's in the same thing right now. They're right now being undermined. They got their port. They owe billions and billions of dollars to the Chinese. The Chinese built that port, built the train, built the rail system, everything. Okay, and this is going to continue. Now also the Chinese are trying to buy in South and Central America, they're trying to buy Nicaragua. Okay, they're